That one heartbreak was enough for me. Hey y'all, hey, it's Lay and I'm back with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about why I decided to take a relationship break. Before we get into this video, obviously, yes, things could work in certain ways for certain people, but everything that I'm saying in this video is based off my experience in my relationship. A lot of people don't talk about this, but when you're in a relationship, you kind of get molded around the person you're dating, especially at a young age. You don't really know what you want. You don't really know what you're doing. When I was 17, 18, I was in my first official relationship for about 6-7 years. Of course, at 17, 18, you don't know yourself. The relationship wasn't the best. Like, it was good when it was good, but when it was bad type of thing. So just starting a relationship like that at such a young age, I was exposed to like a lot of, toxicity and just kind of like a damper on who I was. Like, I knew who I was before, but the person I was before the age of 17, 18 was a child. So when I got out of that relationship, I decided that, I want to learn myself. I want to get to know me for me. Like, what does Laisha like to do? And not think about a relationship. That's why they say it's healthy to have your own life outside of your relationship. But let's be realistic. It's 2024. Most of us up our partner's ass. We either, one, are not fully secure. Two, people are either very clingy because they don't really trust. They don't want their partner, too far away, or, doing their own thing because they don't really know what's going on. There's more people like this than not. So I don't want nobody like, I'm not like that. You may not be like that, but it's more than 50% of people that is like that. That security is not there because most of us don't really even know how to communicate properly. Let's keep it real. So because we don't know how to communicate properly, that security kind of gets a damper on it. A lot of us don't really know ourselves outside of relationships. Like, a lot of people don't. It is what it is. So I decided to get to know me. I feel like the relationship that I was in, it was a lot of trauma bonding. I was fresh out of leaving my toxic childhood altogether. It was like, okay, fresh out of that, boom, fresh into this relationship. This relationship is toxic. I just kind of kept the toxicity cycle going. So when I finally got out of there, now mind you, I was in that relationship from age 17 to 22. That's when we were official. So that's 5 years. But it took me a good 2.5 years to fully detach from this person. So yeah, we were broken up after 5 years, but technically it was 7 years because I was still, first of all, we still having sex. We still doing I love yous. We're still linking up. We're still laying in bed like we together. We still pillow talking, all that shit. You can damn near call it 7 years if you still emotionally attached and doing shit like you still together. Being single, I've saved so much money. Hands down. I finally decided, okay, I'm ready to detach fully. I kind of like looked at the relationship from the outside instead of looking at it from the inside. When you're inside of the relationship, you don't really see how bad things are until you get outside of it. I didn't really talk much about what was going on because most people, you tell them what you're going through, even if they went through the same thing, they'll be like, oh, your ass, you dumb, or you doing that dumb shit, or I'll never do that. So I didn't want to hear none of that. I just kind of held in what I was going through, and it was just a lot of stuff going on. So when I finally got out of that relationship, I told myself, I said, you know what? It's time to date myself. Like, it's just time to really get into it with me. I didn't want the next person I dated to get the hurt version of me. I wanted them to get the healed version of me. I tried the whole, like, some people will date other people to move on from the last person. Hey, I get it. If it works for you, it works for you. But for me, that was not working. I cannot date somebody to get over the next person. Like, I have to get over that person by myself. At that time, I was like, what, 24? I'm like, okay, you ain't finna be in your 20s bouncing around from people to people. Like, we not finna do that. Okay, casually dating is one thing, but bouncing around trying to find love and shit, I just didn't want to be one of those people. Kudos to the people who can do that. Kudos to the people who can go through a heartbreak and then get out of that heartbreak and bounce into another one, a new relationship, and get into another one. Kudos to people like that. Me, with my heartbreak, my heart be broken. I feel like y'all heart don't be broke for real because ain't no way. When my heart break, ain't no none of that. Let's try it again. That one heartbreak was enough for me. So I said, okay, I need to take time to heal. And for the most part, I am healed. I do have other things that I want to work on. But for the most part, I'm finally at the point. I've been 3 years in therapy. I'm finally at the point where I feel like, okay, I can give this thing a try. Another reason why I decided to give relationships a break is I didn't want to go into a relationship insecure or having trust issues, or obviously you're gonna always have your little guard up, but I didn't want somebody to pay for what the last person did to me. Like I said, I wanted to give someone the healed version of me, not the hurt version. The hurt version of you, well, for one, insecurities. If you're insecure, you're hurt. You're still carrying hurt from most likely a past situation, something that was very traumatic to you, whether it was physically, emotionally, or mentally, or all three. You're processing those things still and you haven't gotten over it. And I also felt like I needed to learn me. Like I needed to know what was like, who was Laisha? Like I needed to know who was me. Like who am I? So I was like, okay, let me take this time. Let me really get to know me. Let me really get everything down packed and get everything together. So I did, and I've been dating myself. I learned that I like to travel. When I was in my previous relationship, we couldn't even travel. My previous partner would be like, "Oh no, we can't do that. I gotta work." Da, 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 or just scared to take a fucking vacation. So it's like I found out after my relationship, girl, you love to travel. Like this is your love language. This is something that makes you happy. If I had jumped into a new relationship, I would have been so busy learning that new person that I would have been neglecting the person in me that needed to be, learned. When you're young, I say any age before 25, we're constantly evolving, right? So you're in a relationship, you're like a sponge still. They say kids are sponges, but really people in general are sponges. Our brains are made to keep learning, so we got to be a sponge. If I was to get another relationship, I would have been focused on that new person versus focusing on me and what I need to do. And honestly, it's been feeling so good to just learn me and to just focus on me. All my attention to me, all my money to me, all my time to me. Valentine's Day, me. Christmas, me. Any holiday, me. Like I don't have to feel obligated to spend my holidays with someone else, spend my weekends with someone else. If I'm in that mood where I just need to be around me, I ain't gotta worry about somebody blowing my phone or what you doing? Your ass cheating? Y'all ain't heard from me. Da-da. Like, another reason. When I'm in a relationship, I like to spend money. Okay? I really like to spoil my partner. I don't spoil too soon though, so y'all don't get no ideas. Don't be watching this like, oh yeah, let me get her. Nah, it ain't like that. I gotta see if we gonna be something before I start spending my money. But yeah, I like to spend money. Honestly, taking a break, I have saved so much money because in a relationship, I'm telling y'all, every holiday, I like to do random gifts. I like to do vacations. I like to do just random stuff. Like if you a gamer, I want you to have all the latest games. You like sneakers, I want you to have all the sneakers. Like I love to spoil my partner and I love to be spoiled by my partner. I've saved so much money, all right? So much money. So it's safe to say I took a break from relationships so I could save some money. Because dating is expensive. Let's talk about it. I'm happy that I took that break. The break was very much needed. Some people were like, well, did you get lonely? Do you get lonely? I don't. Honestly, I've been so busy dating myself and getting to know me. I have been the company. I've been my own company. Like I've really grown a deeper connection with myself and I know myself now. Before I didn't even know myself. I was trying to learn myself all while trying to learn somebody else. Y'all know how draining and how much that is. Some people, I hear them say this like they're like, oh well, you can grow with a partner, you gotta have the right person. Dating alone, the talking phase alone takes time. How I look at it, time is money. All right. If I'm putting time aside to deal with somebody, that means I feel like, okay, you're worth a break. You're worth what? I'm at like lashes is at like $100 an hour, and you put in like 4 hours at four minimum to the side for somebody. Okay, you're worth $1,000 for the day. That's how I look at things. It's just like, okay, is this person worth it? And honestly, when you talking, just the talking phase alone, people don't even know how to be consistent. That's alone. People don't even know how to be consistent. Consistency is a problem for people. And then also when you dating, you gotta figure out, is this person being genuine or not? That whole thing like that is draining. It's draining. I'm not saying I'm never gonna be able to date, but I have to find a point in my life where I'm like, all right, we got time for this because it's really time consuming. A break is always necessary. I don't know. I see people who get married at such a young age and I be thinking like, do you know you? Because first comes the marriage, right? They be married at a young age and then they get kids. Kids alone, or how do you know you when you trying to raise this person and trying to be the best for this person and you don't even know who you fully are yet? Like it's really a cycle and it's really a conversation. It's kind of like a sensitive topic, but I think I want to do like an interview with my two baby sisters got kids. I want to do an interview with them about this, but that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, that's the reason I decided to take a break from dating. I'm glad that I took a break from dating. Do I feel like I'm ready to date again? Um, yeah, I kind of do. But if I don't date no time soon, I will be okay as well too, because I really, really love and enjoy my company. I've learned to value my own company, and that's a big thing too. Like a lot of people don't really know how to value their own company because they've never been forced to be in it, or they never took the time to be in it. 3 years into therapy, I've learned so much about myself, things about myself that I wouldn't even have known, how I communicate, what my triggers are, how I like to be in a relationship. I don't like living with people. Like this is important things because most people nowadays, everybody is trying to get something out of something. All right. Like we're not gonna sit here and act like they're not. It's something in that person that you find value in that will benefit you. That's the reality. A lot of people are not gonna agree, but that is really the truth. When I'm dating, I needed to be very clear that I don't have intentions of moving in no time soon. The only moving in I'm gonna be doing is if we get a house together. That's it. I don't want to do the roommate thing. I want them to come over my house, and then when I'm ready for them to leave, they leave, or I go over their house and they ready for me to leave, I leave. Things like that, like trust, like real trust to the point where we can have our two own places, and we can visit each other until we get to that spot. I feel like people these days are skipping steps in a relationship, and that's why shit is like they feel like, oh, it's moving so fast, it must be real. No, baby, it's about to crash, and I had to learn that the hard way. I think I had really peeped that lesson by the time I was 19, 20. But I was so used to toxicity, I was ignoring all them red flags. Them red flags is looking like Six Flags. I'm not even gonna lie. They was looking like Six Flags. And I was like, ooh, take me on a ride, baby. Not no more. I've matured. I've grown. I've been healing myself. And I can honestly say I'm happy. So yeah, that's my reason, y'all. And if y'all have any questions, or if y'all want me to go in depth or in detail or anything, just let me know. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I love when y'all subscribe. It make me feel so good. But yeah, all right. Bye. A baddie on whatever. A baddie on